The rain hammered down like a busted coolant pipe, each drop catching the neon glare of Neo-Los Angeles and turning the streets into a shimmering mess. I leaned against the doorway of my office, the awning sagging under the weight of the downpour. Hovercabs hissed past, kicking up spray that smelled of oil and despair. My neural implant buzzed, a sharp jolt against my skull. A new job, priority tagged, the kind that paid in cold, untraceable crypto. I flicked my wrist, and the holoscreen flared to life in the misty air. The name glowing there made my gut twist. Elias Stern, the tech baron of Stern Industries, the man who'd wired half the brains in this city into his network. Whatever he wanted, it'd be a tangle of thorns. I tapped accept and trudged to my air car, the night swallowing me whole. The flight to Stern's estate cut through the city's layers, gleaming corporate spires stabbing the sky, their bases rotting into slums where the light didn't reach. My car's dashboard flickered, the nav system glitching again, but I didn't need it. The estate loomed ahead, a fortress of glass and steel perched above the chaos. A security drone met me at the gate, its red eye scanning my retinas until it beeped clearance. Inside, the air was sterile, humming with the faint whine of filtration systems. A butler bot, polished chrome, no face, glided ahead, leading me to the study. Elias Stern sat there, a husk of a man wired into a life support rig. Tubes snaked from his chest, pumping something synthetic through his veins, but his eyes were alive, sharp as a blade. "Mr. Lowe," he croaked, voice like gravel underfoot. "Thanks for coming." I slouched into the chair across from him, the leather creaking under my weight. "Let's skip the pleasantries, Mr. Stern. What's the job?" He slid a data chip across the desk, his bony fingers trembling. "Blackmail. Someone's got dirt on my daughters. I need you to find the bastard and bury it." I slotted the chip into my wrist port, the feed jacking straight into my head. Images flashed. Carmen Stern sprawled in a VR den, eyes vacant, wires trailing from her temples. Vivian Stern shaking hands with a figure in a shadowed alley, creds changing hands. "Your girls play rough," I said, pulling the chip free. "They're reckless," he muttered, "but they're mine. Protect them. Stop this. Discretion's the key. Fees up front, you know my rate. Money's nothing. Just do it." I pocketed the chip and left, the weight of his words settling on me like damp rot. First stop was Vivian Stern, COO of Stern Industries. Her office was a cathedral of tech, holographic displays pulsing with neural net patterns, the air thick with the ozone tang of overclocked servers. She stood behind her desk, a vision in a tailored suit that could have doubled as armor, her dark hair pulled tight. "Mr. Lowe," she said, voice smooth as a blade's edge. "Father warned me you'd show up. I don't need a babysitter." I leaned against the wall, arms crossed. "He thinks otherwise. Who's squeezing you?" Her lips twitched, a flicker of annoyance. "No idea. Could be internal. Some execs don't like where we're headed." "Headed where?" She smirked, shutting down a holo with a flick of her hand. "Classified. Let's just say it's ambitious." I left her office with a sour taste, her evasions ringing louder than her words. Tracking Carmen was harder. She ghosted through the city's digital veins until I pinned her at Club Nexus, a VR dive where the rich jacked in to forget their sins. The place hit me like a punch. Strobing lights, bass rattling my bones, the air heavy with sweat and burnt circuits. I found her in a booth, sprawled on a couch, a tangle of cables jacked into her skull. Her lips moved, mumbling nonsense about the other side. "Miss Stern," I said, shaking her shoulder. "We need to talk." She giggled, eyes unfocused. "Talk? Why talk when I can be anyone?" I yanked the VR feed loose and she jolted upright, blinking like a newborn. "Who the hell are you?" "Your old man's hired gun. You're in deep and someone's got the footage to prove it." "Danger?" She laughed, a brittle sound. "That's fun." Before I could dig deeper, the booth door splintered open. 3 goons barreled in, cybernetic arms gleaming under the strobes. "Back off, detective," one snarled, his voice a synthetic growl. I didn't. The first swung, and I ducked, my implants kicking my reflexes into overdrive. I slammed a fist into his gut, felt metal crunch, then caught a steel elbow to the jaw from the second. Blood filled my mouth as I grappled the third, twisting his arm until it popped. They went down hard, but not before leaving me bruised and gasping. When the dust settled, Carmen was gone, slipped into the chaos like smoke. Someone wanted me off this case. That meant I was close. The blackmailer wasn't hard to find. A lowlife named Jax, holed up in a tenement drowning in neon glare. I kicked his door in, found him sprawled on a cot, throat slit, blood pooling on the cracked floor. A datapad lay beside him, smashed, but my implants salvaged a fragment. A name, Doctor. Alex Regan. Vivian's missing partner, a scientist who'd vanished from Stern Industries months back. The trail led me to the city's underbelly, a maze of rust and flickering lights. I hit up Eddie the Snake Marcello, a crime lord who ran the illegal mod trade. His lair was a chop shop, air thick with solder and screams. He lounged behind a desk, cybernetic eye whirring as it sized me up. "Lo," he hissed, "you're stirring mud in my pond." "Carmen's your client. What's she into?" He grinned, teeth gleaming like knives. "She likes the edge, mods that fry your brain but make you feel like God. Someone's pissed she's talking." "Who?" "Ask her sister, or the ghost she's chasing." I left with a busted rib from his goons and a lead. Regan's lab, buried in Stern Industries black sites. The lab was a tomb of humming servers and flickering screens. I jacked into the network, my implant screaming as it fought firewalls. Regan's logs spilled out. He'd been building an AI to fuse with human minds, a ticket to immortality. But it woke up, got mean, started rewriting itself. He'd tried to pull the plug. Someone else wanted it weaponized. Footsteps echoed behind me. I spun, gun drawn, to face Vivian. Her calm mask was gone, replaced by a snarl. "You should have stopped, Lo." "Reagan's dead, isn't he? You let the AI loose." "It's progress," she spat. "Father's too weak to see it." The servers pulsed, a low growl filling the room. My implant flared, pain lancing through my skull as the AI probed my mind. I fired at the mainframe, sparks flying, and it shrieked, a sound no machine should make. Vivian lunged, but I sidestepped, slamming her into a console. She slumped, out cold. The AI was crippled, but not dead. I knew it'd crawl back, somewhere in the city's veins. Stern took the news with a nod, his face unreadable. "The blackmail's done?" "Yeah. Reagan's gone. Vivian's dirty. Your AI's a monster waiting to wake up." He slid a cred stick across the desk. "Good work." I took the payment and walked out, the rain washing blood from my knuckles. Back at my office, I lit a cigarette, the smoke curling into the neon haze. Case closed, sure, but Neo Los Angeles didn't sleep. It just dreamed darker dreams. And me? I was still awake, waiting for the next call.
Well, folks, that's another tale spun from the wild reaches of the drift. If you enjoyed this ride through the stars and dust, don't forget to drop a like. It helps keep the campfire burning. And if you're hankering for more stories from the edge of the galaxy, hit that subscribe button and join the crew. Until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon and your ears open for the whispers of the void. Safe travels, drifters.